All right, I think we're live. Um, just because this is one of my first times streaming, if anyone is watching and could comment somewhere that they see us and that we're truly live, that'd be nice. In theory, we are live streaming to YouTube and also Twitter. I'm using this platform called StreamYard to do that. So I'm just gonna. Oh wow, look at that! There I am on Twitter live streaming. Neat.
Let's go.
Uh, Yeah, I'm gonna quickly retweet this from the Valtown account, and then I will close Twitter. All right. So if you're here on the stream, you probably have an idea of who I am, but just a quick introduction. I started this company called Valtown, which is a uh, website to write and deploy code. It's like a serverless website platform that we're going to make stuff with today. And today I have with me Jamie, who is one of the founders of Glif, which is a low-code AI playground. I think about it mostly for images, but they do all sorts of stuff. I learned today that they can generate HTML and soon video. So it's really exciting. Both our products are very similar in a lot of ways. Like Valtown has this new kind of thing called a Val. Glyph has this new kind of thing called a Glyph. Uh, and Yeah, I'm really excited to. We've already used each. We've already collabed before, like offline, but I'm excited to show you guys how you can use Glyph and Valtown and Glyph. There's a lot of synergies there. But I want to start by letting Jamie introduce himself. Tell us a little bit about your background and like the origin stories of Glyph.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Steve. Long time listener and Val runner, first time caller, and excited to work together, see if we can whip up something useful or at least entertaining. My name is Jamie Wilkinson. I'm an American computer programmer. I live in New York, and I'm the co-founder of Glyph, which, like you mentioned, is kind of a generative AI playground. And heavy on the image generators. That's definitely been kind of like something that we do a lot of, but the platform supports text and images and audio and video and HTML, like you mentioned, and the reason for it and kind of the original idea with the platform was when I met my co-founder Fabian Stelzer. Um, he was doing these really amazing tricks maybe a year or two ago with prompt chaining, where instead of just using kind of like a single language model call to, like write a haiku or write an idea for a story, he would uh, make one call to generate like an idea or a concept, and then would pass it to another prompt that was the script writer, who would then take the idea and expand it a little bit more, and then would pass the script writer to the cinematographer, who would describe what that scene should look like. And then we started wiring that up to image models so that we could do things like actually generate what these stories might look like. And then started kind of layering these things all together. And we've built kind of a sort of something that's kind of like Zapier or IFT or iOS shortcuts in terms of sort of being able to combine blocks together and run like a workflow. And a lot of the stuff you see on the site are these image generators. They're using all these different kinds of image generation models or language models to
Which one?
pre-process things.
Show me the. I could like
Oh, this would be
poke
great.
into one, or
Sure, yeah, Kindergarten
do you want
Diffusion is
here?
really great. Yeah, yeah, no, please,
All right,
please.
cool.
I love Kindergarten Diffusion. Yeah, we can do, Kendrick Lamar. Uh, uh,
You know what? Maybe you should share your screen and kind of drive the
sure.
showing off of your platform. Uh, but while you're yeah, once your screen is shared, I think I can switch over to it. But while you're doing that, I can just scroll through and show people the like Zapier if I think shortcuts is also a great comparison. You can
Yeah.
chain
Um,
these together. You can generate variables and then use the variables throughout. Yeah, really cool.
yeah, exactly. And we kind of followed more of a spreadsheet model in terms of how the system works rather than the kind of a node-based connecting things together like you see with Comfy UI or folks who are familiar with Unity or Unreal Blueprints and systems like that or Blender. Um, One second, I'm just configuring my configurations. Oh, I'm so sorry. I might have to restart. I did not do this beforehand. I'm using a different
Oh
browser.
yeah, no, classic.
Classic. Uh,
Yeah, we tested out various features, but we didn't test out U screen
almost
sharing.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go and come back.
I'll be
I
right
can.
back. I'll be right back. Just do fade me.
Cool. In the meantime, while I'm by myself, let's see, what can I show you? I was using Glif to do like image. What are some of the glyphs that I was excited about? There's like an image upscaler that I thought was really cool. Like this meme that I've seen a million times. Like it's kind of cool to see what uh, AI thinks this meme is. All right, Jamie's back.
Hi.
Cool. You have your screen now. All right, cool. So I will add
Yeah.
yours.
Oh, cool. Great. Yeah,
Perfect.
and then so kindergarten diffusion is what we have featured on the homepage today. This is let's see. Oh, what is it? Kamar eating Drake. And while this is generating, which says it takes 16 seconds on average, you can see on the homepage we featured all kinds of other kinds of image generators in different styles. Or this one's really fun to make text out of anything. Fabian has made a shoe designer, and each of them, when you crack them open, you can see,
Mm.
like you mentioned, how it's a series of blocks that each do something different. Where this one is a multi-pick that lets you select from like a drop-down menu. I'll remix this really quickly so we can edit it. Um, and so I can do sneaker, or slipper, or dress shoe, and then there's different options like being able to randomize it, or I'll let the user select it. We'll do sneaker, and then this one, it's the material of the shoe, plastic, banana peel, etc. And this third option is in the style of Apple or Dieter Rams or Balenciaga or Dior. And then he just feeds it into this text block where he combines a product shot of an unusual type of input one, which was, I think, the type of shoe, neutral background, bizarre product photography. And so this is just a little bit of prompt engineering. And he has another text block here that's just the negative prompt, which is things to remove from the image, and the aspect ratio that he's shortened to AR. And then this one's a little more complicated. He's actually feeding it over into a different glyph. And this is one of the secrets of the platform, is that you can chain everything together. And it's all just chains and composability. So with this one, it's feeding it into an image model to generate the actual shoe, and it's feeding it the prompt, and it's feeding it the negative prompt. And so we can run it. We'll make a shoe out of, he said bananas, but let's do wood. I would like to make, let's do a dress shoe made out of wood. And you can see the blocks running. Everything that can be executed in parallel will be executed in parallel, which is really useful because I make a lot of glyphs that will, for instance, generate like 3 different images and then combine them into one. And it's nice because it'll generate the 3 images at once.
That's
This
cool.
makes text
Yeah,
anything one.
I was going to say that was pretty fast. And so, yeah, if we wanted to make 3 different variations of the shoe, how would you, at the same time, how would you do that?
Oh yeah, so okay, this would be a little fancier, but I'm gonna copy this glyph ID. I'm gonna make a new glyph that runs the shoe designer 3 times
Ah,
using this fancy glyph
I
block
see.
because I'm very lazy
I
like
see.
that. So I'll just do. I think I copied it wrong. Oops.
Do you have to
Let's see.
publish it?
Oh, I might need to publish it. That's right. Uh,
I too run a social platform where people
oh my goodness.
forget to publish things.
Yeah, and then I remix this. Sorry, I lost myself. I publish. And then I'll just start over. So I'm going to make a triple shoe. Just make a double shoe. Keep my life easier. So I paste my glyph ID for my other one, the type of shoe, and the input one, the designer. This is wood. I forget what the variables were.
Oh, well, I want all the same variables. I just want them to be used twice.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you could just hard code them if you wanted to make it
Yeah, I
faster.
might have picked something that was too high of a difficult difficulty rating for a first demo, but I'll do something
Mm,
simpler, which is just generating 3 images instead of using the glyph
mm,
block. So we have like this image spell, sneaker made out of. I'll add my input at the top, which will be what the material is. And I'll make wood the default since we're doing. I have to rename this block. Sorry. Material. And then that's image 1, and then I'm going to add a second image, which is my image 2, and I'm going to make this one is a high heel shoe made out of. Did you want 2 different materials or 2 different shoes?
I just wanted to see the parallelism because it really
Sure.
does look like it would be sequential, but I guess
Yeah.
clearly under the hood, it's a spreadsheety kind of a thing, like observable, where you like to
Yeah.
detect the dependencies. That's cool.
And then we have this canvas block that lets you kind of combine things together. So I'm just going to change this to white really quick, make it wider. And then I'm going to insert my 2 images and pull them from image 1
Mhm.
and click away, and this one's image 2. I don't know why these are different aspect ratios, but we'll just see how that goes. So my material is wood, but we'll change that to ceramic for fun. And you can see them running in parallel since the
Ah,
the canvas block depends on the other 2, so that won't render until they're done. So I've got my
ah,
ceramic shoe, high heel shoe, and I've got my ceramic sneaker.
ah. That's
I don't know why the
classy.
aspect ratios are coming out funny, but you can kind of see that it, as delivered.
Mm, cool. That's
I don't
great.
know if that's ceramic. Does this count as ceramic? So
I don't know.
let's make it out of Shrek colored goo. I have this image is square. This image is square. We don't do a lot of live glyph editing, but we really should so that I get better at this.
Nice. That's great.
I'm enjoying this.
Cool. So I don't know if like it says on this interface that we have 86 people watching. That's neat. I was expecting maybe 0 or 1. Um, if anyone wants to talk to us, which I would greatly appreciate, I think the way to do that is YouTube comments will like come through. So if, that would be nice if you want to join our chat. Ah, nice. Yes, someone did. Someone said hi. Hi, John. Okay, so
What's up,
like
John?
as like a structure for this chat, I think the rough outline, and if you want to drive us in other directions, I would love that. But the rough outline is we're going to make a glyph that pulls data from a Val10 val, and then continues on its merry way making a glyph thing. And then we're going to make a Val10 thing that generates an image from glyph and then continues on in Val10. So
Mm.
I feel like we're breaking it up in terms of control flow. We'll start
Mhm.
with glyph as like the orchestrator pulling data from val, and then we'll do like val10 is the orchestrator pulling it from glyph.
I love it. Yeah. And then the 2 platforms are so simpatico in a lot of ways too. I really love watching how you've evolved with Valtown in terms of kind of being like code first, whereas with Glyph we've
Mm.
tried to make something that's no code or at least like very low code. Um, but every time I need code, I just use Valtown, and then we have these web fetcher blocks, so we just fetch the data from Valtown, pull it back into the Glyph, sometimes send it back. So it's a Ouroboros of data and entertainment.
Nice. Okay, so I think just like the simplest thing, I have here, I can share my screen a little bit to give people, I guess like the thing I want to show off is this tutorial I made yesterday that I feel like is a great place to start if you're new to Valtown. Let's share my screen. All right, so it's this brand new tutorial in the Valtown docs about your first cron, and it like gets the weather and it'll send you an email about like how the weather is in the morning. So it just fills out the subject of the email. Wouldn't it be nice if the body of the email like evoked the vibe for your particular city. So I think we'll start by making a glyph that pulls in weather data from Valtown, and then because like I have all these great vowels that can help you get weather. I think Jamie's also made a vowel to help you get the weather. Um, and then and like kind of generate a cityscape in the vibe of that weather. And then we'll use that same kind of image. We'll use that glyph as an API to generate an image to include in this uh, weather email morning thing. That's the basic plan.
It's perfect. I think my weather
Cool.
val, I probably just copied yours too, and then just changed it to be from me.
Yeah. So okay. So I just worked on my get weather val. Uh, interesting. Uh, this yeah, I just worked. Oh, interesting. So I forked mine from this one. So thanks to this guy. That's Dan. So mine, it's the same as his, but I just added like a bunch of TypeScript types. Yeah, it uses witterin to get the weather as JSON, and then I think maybe Glif will like so in the Valtown, like when Valtown has control of has a locus of control, we'll get the weather data, and we'll send it to Glif via API, and then make an image, yada yada. But with when Glif is the locus of control, maybe we'll have to do some parsing. I don't know. Yeah, you'll. Why don't we start there, and you could show me what that looks like.
Sure, sure. And then do you have in this particular val? I saw that it had the Brooklyn, New York hard coded into the location field. Do we want to accept the user location, or should we just keep it simple to start?
So I think for the glyph, I think we should accept user location and then send that over
Okay.
to Valtown, and it'll get the weather for that location, and then like build an image, and
Okay.
then yeah.
Let me see if I've got something I can fork from real quick. Can you paste me the link to your val for that one in one of our chat
Sure. You know
places?
what? I think if yeah, I can talk to the chat. Okay, cool. I come off as like the Valtown user. So that's the link to the tutorial. And then I can link to my get weather val. Um, and if so
Oh,
the
sweet.
get weather val, like we need to build like an endpoint for it. So like a little bit of a proxy. It depends on what kind of parsing you can do in
Yeah,
Glyph.
we can parse our web vector blocks will parse JSON, and you can kind of extract individual fields with like a jQuery JQ style dot notation. Just it's very simple, but
That's
what I
fine.
do sometimes with Valtown, whenever somebody has like a more complex API response, is I'll make a val just to wrap a single API request.
Yeah.
Um, and then I also have a lot of like API secrets inside of Valtown already too, so it's a little more convenient for me to be like kind of writing all these API proxies inside of Valtown. And for instance, like I have this NFT metadata val that I use a lot, which I have 3 or 4 of them now because one gets all the metadata, but one of them I made it so it just calls that other val and gives me the image URL only. And I could parse it out of the other one, but it was sort of more convenient just to write another val that's only 3 lines to fetch the individual field.
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
That's great.
Sorry, I'll take over the
So yeah,
screen share really fast.
yeah. Why don't you screen share like a brand new glyph that has like an input field,
Yeah.
and I, I can work on the val part of it if you wanted.
Okay, cool. So this one's a script, so it's not actually an HTTP handler, right?
Yeah, this is like a utility function to
Okay.
get the weather.
Okay, sweet. Well,
So,
let's make a. I'll need it as an actual endpoint.
nice. Yeah,
So
exactly.
we'll get started. I love all the new UI updates, by the way. It looks really great.
Yeah, we need an edit button where you looked for one a second ago.
You know, every the gardener only sees the weeds. It looks good to me. And then I always forget how to get the search params. I'll have to look it up in a sec, but in the meantime, I'll just do
uh,
this. And then let me look it up really quick. The default. The secret of pair programming. Looking it up and copying it from the docs.
it's great. Yeah.
We're gonna do async.
Mm.
We'll do an OK true and a weather, and we'll just see what happens really quick. Cool. This feels like 45. I'm in Brooklyn, and it looks like 45
Yeah.
outside, so I'll take this as accurate. And this is a
We're
huge.
both in Brooklyn.
Let's go. This is a huge response. And I guess, do you want the whole weather? What are you feeling as far as like the exactness of our weather?
I feel there's like a weather description. I feel like that's like the most important thing to parse out.
Oh, cool.
And
Okay.
so luckily I like have your TypeScript types.
Oh,
Um,
perfect. Yeah.
so you should be able to just
Weather
it's like weather
dot.
description. I think it's yeah, current condition. Oh yeah, dot weather maybe.
Perfect.
Sorry. Yeah. Weather current
Yeah,
condition.
yeah.
And then yeah, you can keep going like that.
Let's just nearest area. Let's see what current condition says.
I think yeah, yeah, I think you have to get out
Oh, my bad.
the first
Weather.
thing there. So like this, so it's an array.
Okay.
Weather condition is an array for some reason. So you just have to get out the first thing. Like remove dot weather desk. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So you're an array right now. So you want to
I see.
yeah. There you go.
Pull out.
0. Yeah.
And then where's my weather desk? Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And it knew the rest of the type too. Actually, the AI thing did.
That's
If you hit
fantastic.
delete.
Oh,
Nice. Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, great. Overcast. That's great. What was? I wish I'd saved the JSON from the rest of it so I could see what else we have in there. I
Yeah.
would love to get the degree. Let me pull up your type definition and cheat that way.
If you go back to the code. Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
you already have it here. I should have just copied all your code.
That's great.
Cool. We got description. Feels like. I'll leave the email out. And then we'll do feels like. And then so for convenience, we could return this as the JSON, but I think I'll we have this automatic parsing. If you put it in a data field, it will automatically pull that. And I'm going to just make a string that combines these two things. So I'll say like
Okay.
description. I'll say feels like, and description, see what this looks like. Not that, it's data. 45. We'll put an F for my European colleagues. Remember how to do a degree symbol? What is it? It's Alt. This is my
I
favorite
just
game.
Googled it. And
I know. None of these.
if you go
I'm
to
just mashing.
symbol.wtf, I think.
Oh, oh, my man. This is fantastic. Copied. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's brand new. Or like someone on Twitter just made it. I forget who.
This is great. It's fast. It's got the symbols. It's got everything you can need. I'll be bookmarking this one. Thank you. Let's just pin that forever. 45 degrees and overcast. Perfect. So, and then I've got my val endpoint, and I'll crack open a new glyph, which will be weather boy. And then we have this web fetcher block where our default is literally a val using the wrong old URL syntax, but our default value is the val. That's posting. I just want to get it. The output type is text in this case, because what we can do with our system is you can return like an image or audio or video URL, and we'll kind of cast it
Ah,
to the other media type. It's all, if anybody watching is trying to do this on Glyph, like, I apologize for the difficulty, the double black diamond difficulty level of doing this, but we have this docs.glyph.app site that has a lot of detail on how do I build a glyph, and we have docs for each individual block. So then I have this JSON path. So the default is data. If I don't put anything, it'll be data. Nobody would know that if you don't check the boxes, but this should give me 45 and overcast.
whoa, that was quick. Nice.
So then we could kind of compose it into something else,
Mm.
like
Why
we
don't
were
we
talking
start
about.
by adding, well, we can go in either direction. Yeah, you could go down that direction. I was thinking you could go up and add an input and then like thread the New York through.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so location, and we're gonna make the default Brooklyn, New York, and then with this, I guess I'll do like location equals. Let me name this. If I don't name my blocks, I
Perfect. Yeah.
always get super lost. And it will try to URL encode this. It's
Oh, perfect.
not perfect. Like I bet if I go to symbol.wtf and start pasting stuff in, it'll start getting a little mad at me. But I think this will work, and I'll just run it, and then I'll just check my vals logs to see what came in. Oh,
Nice.
this is a little bug.
Yeah, we can also try. There's a new Valtime feature that this will let us try.
I'm interested in that. There we go.
Nice. Okay, so
Actually,
nice. Look
can I
at
do the
that.
trick where I'm
Yeah,
like
no,
pull location from query params?
you sure can.
We don't really use URL, do we? No, this is good. This is good. Thank you, Codium.
Nice.
Okay, I think we're
So
cooking.
now go back to your logs. Go back to your
I'll go back to my logs.
and then on the one, the old request that yeah, that one, all the way over to the right, there's a replay button.
Oh.
So yeah, hit that, and then it'll like let you see what's going. And then if you scroll down,
that's awesome.
maybe you'll see the output.
Yeah, it's the same. So replay
Well,
was Brooklyn.
which in this case, yeah, it doesn't tell us. We should give it like Florida or something.
Yeah, maybe I'll do
well, no, now I guess now you can go to Glif and.
Yeah, I'll just try it from over there now. Now that weather live stream is, we'll change this to Paris, France.
We don't know the weather there.
Yeah, we do now.
That's different.
We do now. It's looking good. Let's double check. Weather, Paris, France. 75.
Yeah.
We did it.
We're killing it. Okay, so I think Joe, I'm going to put a comment up from Joe because this is a great idea, and this is kind of where we're going. But I really like the idea for the clothing conditions. You know, because you can get this in the morning, gives you an inspo for what to wear, and I think that's great. So we can go
That's
there.
a great idea.
Maybe we have someone in France who can confirm. I don't know if Bennett. I don't know who Bennett Percentage is. Maybe
I know who Bennett Percentage is. He is the best.
Is Bennett Percentage in France right now? In Paris?
Where if the weather is weather.
Ooh, but give it the city. Give it the city too. You know.
Oh.
Bennett Percentage is not in France.
Yeah. If I live in location, and the weather is. It's a good idea. If you're in Paris, France, and the weather is 76 and 20, you should wear light and breathable clothing to stay comfortable. Okay, let's change this. Pretend you are a psychotic fashion designer who wears the most outrageous things. And I'm just going to crank up our ridiculous creativity meter. And I'm actually going to lower the number of max tokens, which is approximately the number of words, just because I don't like verbose language models. Oh, it's going verbose on me. A daring and avant-garde outfit for your sunny day in Paris. Embrace your inner wild child.
I love it.
Keep it short, laconic, terse. No intros. Just the clothes.
Is
And this is all just like, there we go. This is what I want.
I love
This is what I
it.
want.
I
This
love
is what I want.
it. Beret, of course.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I don't know if that it'll be
No
fancier, but it definitely will be beret.
We got it. Okay, I think I'm done with my we'll call it clothing suggestions. We'll just keep that one for later.
Nice.
Let's change the location actually, because we're in Brooklyn.
Ooh, I'm curious also, San Francisco, is it going to be like tech normcore?
Yeah, pink faux fur
Mm,
coat. My psychotic personality is not.
Miami? Miami would also be a
All right,
fun one to target.
I'll type that one next. That's a good one.
Oh, we also have to get.
Thick
Oh yeah, we're
denim
dipping into.
jacket. Turtleneck top though. Turtleneck top.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Steve Jobs.
Yeah. And then if I expand these, I can see the output of it. So in Miami, it's 90 degrees. Interesting that it went with a bullet list for me this time around.
For Miami. It's so much to
Vinyl
say.
Vizorov protection shutter shades. What is that? Nothing. That's fake and made up. That's fully hallucinated. Don't worry about that. Let's turn this
Mm.
down just a little bit.
Yeah, it would be nice to know the weather from the day before, so you could tell people how much hotter.
Mmm.
We can come back to that. We can come back to that. I
Yeah.
think there's more to do in. I'm just reacting to this comment. Another one from Bennett. Um, but I guess let's start with the weather for today, and let's like have an image of the city at that temperature with a person wearing what it suggests.
Copy that. All right. So we'll do realistic high-res photograph of location. Weather is weather. Person is in foreground wearing clothing suggestions just to see what happens. And I actually always like doing kind of like landscapey is sort of my favorite. We have all kinds of zillions of options for the power generators out there, but I'm gonna just kind of keep it simple and see what happens. So now since my last block in my chain is this image block, it'll come out as an image. We have some features that we're working on where you kind of actually output like a compound, like an object at the end, and you can include all of the. It's pretty good. Was that Miami? Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And the clothes were lightweight, flowy fabrics, bright colors, bold patterns. Yeah, statement sunglasses. Doing
Certainly,
pretty good. I don't know why
that
it's.
is
They're
awesome.
kind of using like a bokeh sort of thing going on here. I don't know if that's on purpose.
It's because I'm from
Uh,
Boca.
got it. We're going back to Brooklyn now. Let's try it. Let's see what I should be wearing. Let's see how I should look. This is how I look. Is whatever this is what I will go do an outfit change for.
Yeah, well, I guess what we're missing is
Oh my
we
God,
need to
it
talk
is
about
me.
us. We need like a description of us, like
Yeah.
to personalize it. Like who are you?
Oh,
And I guess because we're like two uh, normal tech bros, we can just describe yourself as being
Norm. I'm gonna go with Normcore Tech Bros.
yeah,
You know, it's
great.
oh, it's too real. Okay, so I'll try the vanilla version of this, and then I will actually try another one where I'm going to use another language model call to enhance the prompt to be more prompty, if that makes sense, more image prompty. Since
Great.
language models are excellent at writing image prompts, and I very rarely, we don't have it in here, but we have this browser extension, the Glif browser extension, which has like a generate prompt for me button, and you can load images into it and use that to generate a prompt based on what it sees in the image. And I'm dying to add some more stuff like that in the builder, so I don't need to write stuff like a clown writing with my fingers. Uh, so, okay, it's not a person, it's a describe yourself in the
Um,
foreground.
I think we
This
should
will,
also tell the 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 fashion designer who we are.
oh yeah, good idea. Be nice. Okay, pretend you are, let's go get rid of psychotic. You are like a stylish, modern, cost conscious fashion designer. Uh, if I am, describe yourself, and I live in location, and the weather is weather. This is all right. This is not my best prompt. And then, if Fabian, if you're watching the stream, I'm so sorry for my bad prompting. He is our prompt wizard in residence, and is absolutely the most amazing prompt engineer I've ever met in my entire life, and I think I ever will meet. And whenever he watches me write prompts, I think he just dies aside a little bit. You know, this is actually really funny because it definitely made us black because we said Brooklyn, New York, and it's like it's insane how much the models have been trained on these latent spaces where they're like, "You're from New York. This is what you look like," and it's like I would need to specify that I'm like normcore tech bro, white with beard, you know, slightly out of shape, still cool though. And then, yeah, I have a feeling doing kind of like using a language model to sort of rewrite my image prompt would probably produce. Yeah, that's not bad. This probably is what I should wear tomorrow. Oh, oh, it's too real. It's too real. Uh,
This is great.
okay, I'm gonna keep this one. Okay, write a detailed image prompt that's better than this. And I'm just going to paste in my old one, and I'm going to call
Mm,
this one enhanced. There's much better ways to do this. I'm just going to do the fast version of this while we're.
nice.
But the prompt enhancement is one of my favorite tricks um, that you can really start to accomplish pretty easily with Glif. And there's a lot of really great glyphs on the site that use different language models with all kinds of different settings to uh, adjust the image prompt in the direction that someone wants to go. So you're able to type something really simple like dragon, and it'll enumerate all the features of a dragon, and it'll describe a scene where the dragon is like, breathing fire as it goes over a city, and sort of fills in all the rest of it for you. And it kind of gives people, I think, in a lot of ways, when you go to Midjourney, you type dragon. Midjourney does a lot of this, I think, internally, but most image models, like Stable Diffusion, don't right out of the box. So, okay, I'm just going to look at my enhanced prompt. A vibrant and immersive image prompt transports a viewer. This is just too long. This
Yeah,
is
I think
terrible.
your prompt is pretty good. Like,
Yeah,
and the output was perfect.
let's keep it then. You're very kind, and we'll keep it. And I'm gonna publish this before I forget.
Cool.
What do you look like? Normcore Tech Bro. Stylish young woman going to a rave.
Nice.
I don't know why it's. We have a memory leak in our re-rendering that's causing. I don't know if you could see how slow it was typing. We just noticed it yesterday. It's once you start
That's
adding a
funny.
bunch of blocks, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's weather appropriate, as you've noticed.
Yeah. Yeah. It may be a little warm. Oh no,
Mm.
no, no, you're right. You're right. It is weather appropriate. It's cold here.
Yeah, and then this is just the vanilla image, but I think what I would probably do to make this like a little more cohesive is break out that canvas block again and do something like
Mm.
I'll make a white background. I think my image was 1024 by 1024, but I'll have to double check. And then so what I would do is insert my image one and
you guys should use the value of the last image.
We should use the value of the last image. That's a great idea. I have too many tabs open, or else I'd write that down. And then, but what I want to do is add like the temperature as like debugging.
The weather, temperature, and also the description of the the description of the outfit maybe would be good too.
Yeah, we'll put the weather down here, and
And the
uh,
location, and yeah, we can put
put.
all the variables basically.
I do this all the time just to like debug basically, because it's a little bit easier than with our UI where you have to kind of hop around a little bit. I'm sorry, I bumped up the font size and the canvas block is so mad at me. It's like that's not the right location. I'll just put this over here. What was in his clothes? We'll do everything. And describe yourself. This is gonna look awful, but first pancake. All right.
Awesome.
Faux fur
Oh
coat. This came
yeah.
out. This came out better than I thought. Yeah, pretty good. I could work with this.
So great. So do you have a technique for making sure that the text is uh like a different color from the image behind it?
We don't have like a smart version of that yet. In this case, like I'd probably be safe just making it white
Yeah.
because I'm trying to think. Unless it does like a sky at the top. But it would be cool if
Yeah.
we I'm trying to think of how we do it. The way we do this is that it's really just like, you know, just rendering this as HTML more or less, and so it can't really tell like what the values of the pixels below it are. But maybe there's some CSS shenanigans for that actually. I feel like there's probably uh,
You could you could add a border in the opposite color so the text is black, the
that's a good.
border's white.
Yeah, what I do sometimes is
Yeah.
add like a white background behind it too, which
Yeah.
is kind of lame, but it does the trick.
TikTok does that. It's a common thing.
Yeah,
It's like a common TikTok technique.
and then I did like this is my canvas is square. Uh, It's white. We'll do white. My color picker's in the way. I'm happy to move on. By the way, I'm at this point just fully screwing around with the
I love
image.
it. Well, so I think now let's do the reverse.
Sweet.
I have let's make a thing that'll go off every morning and send you a notification about the weather in your city and what to wear, and it'll include this image to inspire you with what to wear.
Okay.
And if we really wanted to get crazy, we could be like, you could like reply to that image and be like, no, more like this, and then you could reply to the email and it could iterate.
That's not a bad idea, and maybe yeah. And it could be. I'll have to think about what that would do, but yes, just try it again.
Yeah, that'd be a little wild. Oh yeah, you forgot to make one of them white.
I know. Let me fix it really fast.
Classic.
You can see this part of it. This is white. Okay, sweet. I have to make my font size. See. Jamie does. That's what I look like apparently. It's not far off.
Nice.
I love how everybody got like ripped jeans,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
and then
so fun.
I'll need to tweak my image to actually fit. Like I'll probably it's a little easier if I maybe just make it square because that's 1024 by 1024, and then I'll just nicely fit into. This canvas, as we were building this, like I have so much respect for people who have built WYSIWYG, like TL Draw, and everybody doing like WYSIWYG editors are doing God's work because this was like one of the most hairy things to build.
Yeah, that is true. So so Glif has an API. So uh, every published glyph is accessible via API.
Yes, sir. And I'm just going to copy the ID of this one really quick. I'll bring up, if you just go to glyph.app/API, it redirects you to the docs. It is, you have to register for a token, and then there is just this simple API endpoint that you just tack the Glif ID at the end, and then you pass the parameters as, you could do it as an array, or you can do it as a named object. So it can be like inputs, input 1, 2, 3, or you can do inputs param 1, param 2, param 3, basically. And for, excuse me, for convenience, I've actually already made a val that talks to the Glyph API. Let's see if it works still. Oh, yeah, I even made a folder. By the way, are there any plans to make folders public?
Shareable?
Shareable?
Yeah. No short-term plans because we're not sure about folders as an abstraction. Yeah, I just made a, actually, let me see. I can share a link to it. Yeah, I just made a public ticket about our thoughts, or my thoughts on it. It's really like ultimately something like projects. Short answer is it's complicated. I put a bunch of thinking here in this comment that you could read.
Cool.
Sometime this year we'll have like a way to share groups of vals, but I don't know if it's going to be folders.
Got it. Cool. I didn't realize you had this public repository for discussion.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, if you click on it's empty. If you click on discussions and then sort by top.
Yeah. Oops. I'm sorry. I clicked something else. Top all.
Yeah. It's like these are feature requests.
Yep. Far too slow.
Yeah, we made a huge improvement. Max made a huge improvement to the speed of vals, which is awesome. And Max is also launching streaming hopefully next week. So
go Max. Yeah, streaming is super fun and also a lot more complicated than it looks. So thank you, Max. Cool. Okay, so this one, I think I wrote it just as a library. Yeah, so I'll need to make another endpoint that actually does it. But this has this run Glif function. Actually, you know better than me offhand. If you try to use this in a val, will you have to set your own API token, or can it reuse mine?
Great question. So you're like an old school Val 10 user. So I think you've been a Val 10 user through different permission models, which is like maybe why it's like extra confusing for you. But for anyone who's so it's changed. But for anyone who's new to Valtown and doesn't have their mind cluttered with the old way of doing things, it really should be quite simple. If you write an SDK for me to import, then it uses my environment variables. So if this is an SDK val and I import run Glif from your val, it won't have a token. So it won't work until I add a token. If you wanted to give people, me, whatever, access to your API token, then you use the proxy technique that you're familiar with.
Got it.
You build an HTTP proxy that uses your thing, and so then you almost have to build so then you build an SDK to your proxy, and then your proxy talks to Glif.
Right. Got it. I'll just do that really quick, just because I don't mind people using my token for convenience. And I already allegedly wrote the code. I don't know which Glif this is either. Expected one argument. That's only one argument. I don't think I've tested this run Glif function very much. Please forgive me.
Maybe instead of I feel like that's adding a lot of indirection. I feel like maybe let's just how to get it working in your account, and then if anyone wants to do this themselves, they can like get an API token or whatever. You can make an SDK for folks later.
Cool. Just fixing this one.
Well, I guess you could try. See what happens.
I think this should work. We'll call it run Glif HTTP, and then Uh, let's call this output. And I don't really want to respond to a get, but here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, cool. So this glyph I think is just like a text one that returns really fast.
Nice.
Oh, what do they say? These Balenciaga shoes are so uncomfortable. Apparently I've been doing a lot of fashion glyphs.
So what may potentially the quickest way to build a proxy is to proxy over all of the request data and just change the URL. So like people make a request to your proxy, we'll swap out the URL to point to Glyph's API, and then we'll add in an authentication token. But then we can like
Okay.
send over all the other data that it gets. It might be
Okay.
more complicated than it's worth if really all we care about. It's more complicated than it's worth because you already have this helper function there. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, why don't we just add? We could just get out the ID and inputs from.
Yeah. So I've got my. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. Okay, this one's pulling the weather into Glyph, so I'm going to put this as my first tab. And then this pulls it. This pulls in the weather based on your location. And then this is this ID, so I'll put it in here. And then the inputs, I'm just going to cheat and use the positional array thing because I always hate the name. So it's location and describe yourself. So it would be, let's do Berlin, Germany, and, cool dude.
Now it's got to be a rave.
Yeah, because I guess it'll be 7 p.m. It's too early. It's too early in Berlin.
Oh yeah, we could also send the time. That would be good.
Time would
But
be
whatever,
fun
we could do
too.
that later. Oh
Okay,
wow.
so this
Okay.
came back. All right, so this is actually a quirk of the Canvas block. Oh, the API, I forgot that we also return some of the raw generated HTML too, but you don't need that. All I really care about is this output field that you can see here. And if I did my job correctly, this will be the image of Berlin, Germany. Cool dude. Margins all messed up. Oh, look, I don't think I published my fixes since I still got my black corner over here. Let me publish. And then, yeah, I mean, the tweak I'd probably make here is just, reject if it's not a post, but it's convenient. And then I
Well,
guess just
so
parse.
I think
Yeah, what do you want to do from here?
yeah. So maybe like copy that line 4, and then we're gonna just do and then go to like your home screen and make a cron val.
All right.
And so, yeah, so the real idea is like every morning sending yourself an email
Mm-hmm.
with this with like the inspo of what to wear based on the weather.
Right. Okay, let me import my run glyph.
And then so on line 5 you could type the @ symbol and then type and then I guess hit enter for standard email. Great. And then yeah, that's basically
Oh, no, I don't want
yeah.
that. I like your previous suggestion. Let me at standard email. Weather now is that won't be what I want, but I can't actually
Yeah.
see that in the response because we do send back the full
Oh,
prompt chain. Let me see.
oh, that's amazing.
I don't have it turned on right now.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh well,
normally, normally
it's
it would
in the
return.
HTML somewhere.
It is in the HTML somewhere. Yeah, we got light linen
Yeah,
shirt here. We could parse that
yeah.
out. That would.
We could yeah, that'd be silly. We could just start with like your weather suggestion for the day, and then
Or the other thing that actually I do as a hack sometimes, and it makes this like not super user friendly, but at the very end, instead of doing this like canvas to make an image, I'll just put like a text block and I'll just write JSON here. And I'll say like, image is image one,
Uh,
and then I'll say weather is weather.
great,
And
great.
this is a huge hack, but it totally works. And then let me just try this really quick. I'll have a trailing comma that I'll get mad.
The JSON won't parse.
Yeah, and I have a fix coming in. If any Glyph folks are watching, for trying to do kind of like magic JSON parsing in as many places as possible to really just sort of like to like allow for like sloppier JSON generally, or things like being be able to put comments and sort of stuff that people expect to be able to sometimes have. But yeah, this would work. So this would give me JSON back, and it kind of shows up as this will work. And then I'll just have to
Oh,
parse it as
so yeah,
JSON, I guess.
yeah, yeah. I guess it'll require maybe like a second JSON parsing or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't
Or
publish it.
maybe it already does. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Never publish.
yeah,
I lost.
we could you can close that one and yeah, just we can iterate here more essentially.
Yeah. Okay, so this will be my output, and this will give me, and then I'll do a JSON parse just to see what happens.
And maybe just console.log output before you parse it, just so you can.
Yeah, just in case. JSON 2. And then in theory, this will be JSON.weather. I'm sorry, I'm typing faster than
And then you, I guess.
Oh, this is because of my. I'll just don't tell anybody. Oh, it won't let me.
as as unknown as string if you want to, because it
Oh,
already
that's
thinks
right.
it knows what it is.
As unknown as string. I think this will work.
Cool. Yeah, hit a run now if you want
Oh,
to run.
oh my God. What did it take? It's nice seeing the duration counter. I haven't seen some of this new running UI.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely newer.
Okay, I broke something.
Oh, it's
Inputs.
output dot output.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, output dot output, and this is the JSON. Okay, so it's a JSON string. I want output, which is my type is fine here, and then it'll be JSON parse output dot output. Okay, we'll call this results for sanity.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, this is getting a little brittle. Like this is like a pretty delicate little glyph now, but it's doing the job, I think.
Well, what's hilarious about this is that it's a val calling Glif, which then calls
Totally.
back into Valtown. Amazing.
I think this must just be like it's probably invalid JSON. What is this? This is a new line. Yeah, this like JSON output hack is probably not my finest work. That's fine. I'll just cheat. I'll just
well,
cheat
hold on. If you just go back for a second.
Yeah.
To yeah, that one. Inputs, location, Berger. I see. So those are the inputs.
Yeah, this is the normal API response. So it's the ID of the glyph that was called.
What's the difference between output and output full?
Output full is it's like a debug result that includes the type, and then we have like it used to include the full chain as well. It got turned off, but I'm planning to turn it back on.
Log result.output. Yeah, it's too bad that we have to wait 15 seconds per time to like debug.
I know. And then really, I mean, I would just be happy to have it work with just the image because the image has the degrees in it too. So I don't really need
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
this whole
Yeah.
JSON
Oh, yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, drop that, and then
I'll republish.
now we have to get out the URL from some other
Wrong.
place.
Yeah, oh, it returns an image URL. So if we're able to, does the email library, can it send HTML email?
Yeah, it's exactly. I would hope it's exactly where you want it to be.
Perfect. So I don't need to JSON parse anymore. I've got my result, and then this will be result dot output will just be the URL to the image.
Or was it so? Well, yeah, that's fine. Um, the for the subject line, we probably want to say like
Oh,
weather
right.
in, and then you could do result dot inputs, 0.
Right. Oh, very nice. Yes. Uh,
Yeah, look at how did it know? Did you see
I love
that?
it. I love it. And then the body will be, can I just do like an image source equals?
Yes, it's just called HTML.
Oh, collation. Okay. And then this was result dot output. Hey, why did it change my?
Yeah, I don't think it like you. I don't think you quite accepted, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, got it.
Oh, hold on. Look, inputs. It's not an array. It's inputs
Oh, you're right. Thank
dot.
you.
Yeah, weird. Cool.
Yeah, that's an overly clever. Oh, I typed it incorrectly. I will just, you know, pull this out.
I see. I see.
And yeah, we'll just call it that.
Clever. Cool. So potentially, like, if you're only, are you sharing your whole screen or just a window?
I think it's just a window, hopefully. He says, checking if I got any embarrassing messages.
So yeah. It would be awesome if you could drag in like open your email, find the email, and then like open
Oh,
it in
yeah.
a new window, and drag that in.
So,
Get the URL of your email in its own window and paste that as a new tab in this window that you already shared.
got it. Yeah, and then it did it know to it does it know is it using my like Valtown registered email address?
Yes, it implicitly emails you.
Hell yeah. Uh, stand by for email.
You should. I guess now you'll have like 5.
Weather now is Berlin, Germany. Oh my God, I got it. Let me see if I can pop this out. Let's see if this works. That didn't work. I'll have to switch what I'm sharing. You know what? I'm gonna take a screenshot. This is the laziest way to do this.
But then how do you get the screenshot in here?
Oh, I just drag into my browser.
Oh, nice.
And you can see, so it's a big image. I guess I could do like maybe a width equals 100% trick or something like that to try to make it scale down, but cool dude. I should wear a white linen shirt, swim black jeans, 76 and sunny in Berlin, Germany.
That is awesome.
Steve, I think we did it.
This is so fun.
I think we did it.
We did it.
Yeah, really fun idea. This is really cool. And then this is my first Val that sends an email. I'm embarrassed to admit this is also my first cron Val too. I've made many Vals.
Yeah. I could show you I could just show off one last thing. If you go to your cron Val.
Yeah.
So and click on the clock in the top right of the Val. There's gear. Sorry. Yeah, gear.
Gear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So right now it's run every hour, or you could do cron. And so if you click on cron syntax help, this is a little app I made on Valtown, of course, which lets you describe in.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Let's do every weekday morning at 7 a.m. You know what? I'm gonna do it.
And you may notice, like the most important detail of this is the time zone conversion from your
Mm.
time zone for UTC, and yeah,
Inspired. This is the. I'm also going to just pin tab this one for later because that is fantastic. I have a Python command line tool called SGPT, Shell GPT, that I use all the time for like
mm,
extremely fast things like this, and I use it
mm,
for stuff like this where I'll be like the Discord syntax for a universal time, or like the cron tab for something like this, which I'll never remember. Or regexes too. I use it all the time for like a fast
mm.
regex lookup instead of actually opening in the browser.
That's great. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Here,
So,
one last comment from one of the Valtime Pro users, Nico, who is asking Bennett about how you get the alerts from yesterday's weather, which I don't know how Bennett Percent does that, but I feel like that would be an excellent idea for a Val. We just need to find an API that tracks yesterday's weather, or you could use Valtime Blob Storage if you're patient and you
mm,
can wait a day to just store yesterday's weather and then do the
mhm,
comparison yourself.
I like that.
Yeah, yeah, it would be a cool idea for a Val. So, but anyways, I think it's a great time to wrap up. Just over an hour of goofing off, vowels and glyph, glyphs and vowel, and circular. You know, from vowel time to glyph and back again.
That's right. Just like the Hobbit.
Yes, yes. Uh, and it's funny because like it occurred to me as we were doing glyph stuff that I was like, oh, this is um, lang chain for people who don't know how to code. That
That,
was how I as a programmer think about glyph now, but I didn't realize that's what it is.
yeah, yeah, and and that was a lot of the idea was that it was like putting prompts into code feels overkill in a lot of cases, and it's like not interactive in a lot of ways. And
Yeah,
I have friends who are very capable programmers who will do kind of the prompting bits inside of Glyph because it's just kind of easier to edit, and you can fork it and you can like see the results and you can share it with other people in the same way that I use Val for code that I use Valtown for code that I could otherwise like run on my computer, or I could put up like on Vercel or AWS or whatever, but it's actually like a lot nicer having it as this shareable piece of code that I can send to other people. And that's before you get into all the composability pieces of it.
totally, totally. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me on this like first Valtown hosted live stream. I hope to make it a, a, a weekly thing, but we'll see if I can get more guests to risk it with me. So thank you for being brave. The first one.
That's my pleasure. And I didn't even leak any API keys or private keys as far as I know. So
So it's not really. It wasn't even a real live stream, basically.
we'll have to we'll try again next time. But yeah, Steve, this is so fantastic and really fun, and thank you for pairing with me and bearing with my typos. And this is a really fun little script, and I'll be sure to send you my image tomorrow morning of what I should wear.
Oh yeah, that's nice. And maybe before you go, just paste in some of the links to like the val you made and the glyph you made
Oh
for
yeah,
folks
sure. Yeah,
for
so
posterity to be able to follow along and fork and remix.
yeah, here's my weather val, and here's I'll give this a better name. Weather image maker glyph. And then oh, here's I love this like back and forth that's happening here. Uh, morning
Oh.
email cron val. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Thank you for having me. And then I'll keep cooking up some ideas, or I'll send some other folks your way as for your next victim for your live stream.
Sounds good. Thanks again.
Great.
See ya.
Yep. Thanks, Steve. See you.